Yulia Butseva was born in Russia, a country of vast landscapes and deep traditions. From an early age, Yulia showed a fascination with beauty, style, and the power of self-expression. Social media became her canvas, and she quickly learned to use it not just as a platform, but as a stage to connect with thousands of followers around the world. Her rise to fame was swift. Through Instagram and other platforms, Yulia shared her lifestyle, fashion insights, and personal experiences, building a brand that blended glamour with authenticity. Followers admired her confidence, creativity, and the way she seemed to effortlessly balance elegance with approachability. She became more than an influencer. She was a symbol of ambition and modern digital culture. However, behind the curated photos and videos was a life of pressure and expectation. The world of social media demanded constant attention, perfection, and engagement. Yulia navigated these demands with determination, yet she also remained deeply committed to inspiring others. She often spoke about self-confidence, the importance of pursuing one's dreams, and believing in oneself, messages that resonated with thousands of young followers. Tragically, at the age of 38, Yulia passed away following complications after a cosmetic procedure. Her passing shocked her community and followers worldwide, highlighting the unseen pressures and risks that come with living life so publicly. Friends, fans, and colleagues remembered her not only for her beauty and style, but for her warmth, generosity, and the positivity she spread to others. Yulia Butseva's story is a reminder of the complexities behind social media fame, that behind every post, there is a human life, full of ambition, vulnerability, and courage. Though her life was cut short, the impact she made on her followers and the lives she touched continues to echo, inspiring others to pursue their passions, take care of themselves, and cherish the moments they have. Michael Reagan came into this world on March 18, 1945, in Los Angeles, California. He was not born into fame, but fate placed him there almost immediately. Just a day after his birth, he was adopted by Hollywood actor Ronald Reagan and his wife, actress Jane Wyman. His birth name was John Charles Flower, but after adoption, he became Michael Edward Reagan, a name that would follow him through a lifetime lived in the public eye. Growing up as the son of two famous parents was never simple. When Michael was still young, his parents divorced, leaving emotional scars that he would later speak about openly. Unlike many who hide their struggles, Michael chose honesty. He admitted that his childhood was complicated, filled with questions about identity, belonging, and purpose. Those early experiences shaped the man he would become. Michael's path was never smooth or glamorous. He attended several colleges, including Arizona State University, but his life did not follow a traditional academic route. Instead, he learned through experience, struggle, and reflection. What made him different was his refusal to pretend perfection. He spoke openly about failure, faith, and growth, something many people found deeply relatable. As an adult, Michael carved out his own voice rather than living silently in his father's shadow. He entered the world of media and became a nationally recognized radio host through The Michael Reagan Show. On air, he discussed politics, American values, culture, and personal responsibility. He was bold, direct, and often controversial, but never passive. Whether people agreed with him or not, they listened. Michael also became an author, using books to tell the parts of his story that microphones could not fully capture. In Twice Adopted, he wrote honestly about adoption, family separation, and faith. The book revealed a man who had spent years searching for meaning, and finally found peace in belief, purpose, and self-acceptance. One of Michael Reagan's strongest qualities was loyalty. He was deeply committed to preserving his father's legacy, serving as chairman of the Reagan Legacy Foundation. To him, this was not about politics alone, it was about values, freedom of speech, personal responsibility, family, and faith. He traveled, spoke publicly, and worked tirelessly to keep those ideals alive for future generations. Michael Reagan was never a perfect man, and he never claimed to be. That honesty became his greatest strength. He lived a life of strong opinions, public criticism, and personal conviction. To supporters, he was fearless and authentic. To critics, he was outspoken and unyielding. But to those who truly listened, he was simply a man who refused to be silent. Today, Michael Reagan's story stands as a reminder that legacy is not just inherited, it is challenged, defended, and shaped by one's own choices. His life shows that even when born into history, a person must still fight to find their own voice. Brigitte Bardot was born on September 28, 1934, in Paris, France. From the very beginning, there was something magnetic about her presence. As a child, she studied ballet at the prestigious Conservatoire de Paris, learning discipline and grace, though her restless spirit hinted that the stage would be only the beginning of her journey. By the age of 15, she was on the cover of Elle magazine, and the world caught its first glimpse of a girl who would become a legend. Her breakthrough came in 1956, when she starred in And God Created Woman, a film directed by her then-husband, Roger Vadim. It was unlike anything audiences had seen before. Brigitte's natural charm, her effortless confidence, and the way she owned the screen made her an international sensation overnight. She was not just an actress, she was a phenomenon, a symbol of beauty, independence, and rebellion against the conventions of her time. Yet life off-screen was never simple. Brigitte navigated relationships, fame, and the pressure of public scrutiny with a mixture of courage and defiance. She experienced love and heartbreak in the public eye, but through it all, she remained fiercely herself. Unlike many who hide behind facades, Brigitte embraced her strengths and her flaws alike, showing the world that vulnerability could coexist with power. As her fame grew, Brigitte realized that her life could have purpose beyond the silver screen. In the 1970s, she made the bold decision to retire from acting at the height of her career, shocking fans worldwide. But retirement was not the end, it was the beginning of another mission. She devoted herself to the protection of animals, a cause that had long been close to her heart. She founded the Brigitte Bardot Foundation, championing animal rights and tirelessly advocating for creatures whose voices often went unheard. Even as she became a voice for animals, Brigitte's life remained complex and often controversial. Her outspoken views on politics and society drew criticism and legal challenges in France, yet she never shied away from speaking her mind. This willingness to confront uncomfortable truths became part of her legacy, a woman who lived unapologetically, balancing admiration and critique with every choice she made. Brigitte Bardot passed away on December 28, 2025, at the age of 91, in her home in Saint-Tropez, France. The world mourned the loss of an icon whose beauty, spirit, and dedication to causes she loved had left an indelible mark on culture and humanity. Her funeral brought together fans, friends, and admirers, all paying tribute to a life lived boldly, with heart, and without compromise. Brigitte's story reminds us that greatness is not only measured by fame, but by courage, conviction, and compassion. She will forever be remembered as a star of the screen, a champion for the voiceless, and a woman who lived life entirely on her own terms. Sergio Jimenez was born in Spain, in a city where creativity and passion ran through the streets, shaping the young man who would one day capture the attention of thousands online. From an early age, Sergio was drawn to performance, entertainment, and the connection between people and digital platforms. While many of his peers followed traditional paths, Sergio saw the internet as a stage, a place where he could share himself with the world in a way that felt authentic. By his late 20s, Sergio had become a recognized figure in the live streaming community. His charisma was undeniable. Viewers felt like they were talking to a friend, someone who understood them, who laughed with them, and occasionally challenged them to think differently. He thrived on the energy of his audience, the dynamic interaction that only live streaming could offer. Every broadcast was a mix of humor, insight, and a unique personality that drew people back again and again. But life as a streamer was not always glamorous. Behind the camera, Sergio faced the pressures of constant public scrutiny, tight schedules, and the mental toll that comes from performing for thousands of strangers day after day. Yet he remained dedicated to his craft, balancing personal challenges with the demands of a rapidly growing digital career. Sergio's success was not measured solely by numbers or followers, but by the community he built. Fans spoke of his warmth, his ability to inspire confidence, and his gift for making even casual viewers feel like they belonged. It was this genuine connection that set him apart in a crowded online world and made his presence unforgettable. Tragically, during a New Year's Eve live stream in 2025, Sergio passed away at the age of 37. The news shocked the streaming community and fans worldwide, who mourned not only the loss of a talented entertainer, but also of a kind-hearted and passionate human being. Tributes poured in, remembering his humor, his generosity, and the joy he brought into people's lives every time he went live. Sergio Jimenez's story is a reminder of the fragile balance between ambition and life, and how even brief lives can leave lasting impressions. He showed that connecting with people, sharing your true self, and dedicating your passion to others can create a legacy that lives far beyond numbers on a screen.